mother's death is shrouded in mystery, and her mother believes it's because local law enforcement did not do their job. The I-Team has been looking into how the 36-year-old Pasco County woman suddenly passed away. Tonight, our Brenda McLaughlin reveals why there are questions about investigators never going inside the home where she died, and whether that violates policy.
So she's always on my mind. You can't imagine the emptiness and the loneliness that a mother feels.
There is nothing ordinary about the death of an otherwise healthy 36-year-old woman.
It's just hard for a mother.
And nothing that can prepare a family for the devastating loss.
The big question is why? Doesn't anybody care?
911, what's your emergency?
On that June morning in 2008, Laura Bowden's husband, George, said he went to wake his wife, only to find her unconscious.
Is she breathing, sir?
No, I don't think so.
The Pasco medical examiner's report cited the cause of death as zolpidem toxicity, an overdose of Ambien, though several experts the I-Team contacted say the widely prescribed sleep medicine is rarely fatal.
There's got to be something else that's going on here.
The medical examiner report showed the manner of death as undetermined, meaning they weren't able to say if Laura's death was accidental or might have been a suicide.
No, I don't believe it for 1 minute. She loved her daughter. She would never leave her daughter.
Laura's mother, Mary, believes something else happened. That's why she hired private investigator and former sheriff's deputy Mike Peasley. Peasley says the Pasco County Sheriff's Office dropped the ball.
I would have secured that house. I would have taken and got the story from the husband.
Laura and George, who'd been married for 11 years and had a 7-year-old daughter, were going through a divorce at the time. Documents reveal Laura and George each had long-standing life insurance policies worth close to $1 million in their names. George is not accused or under investigation in Laura's death. Laura's mother fears crucial evidence that would better explain her death was irretrievably lost.
Didn't go into the home, and she was actually dead in the home.
While the Pasco sheriff declined an interview, the spokesman for the agency told me they had no evidence that Laura's death was anything other than an accidental overdose.
At the time of the incident, all we had was a dead woman. We did not have any evidence of a crime.
But of the 12 current and former members of law enforcement that the I-Team contacted across the country and asked to review the case files, 9 believe that Pasco County sheriffs failed to properly investigate the death of Laura Bowden.
There were certain things that jumped right out at me in review of the report.
Experts like former Manatee County Sheriff's homicide detective Ned Foy.
To surrender that scene without even going into it is not conducive to a complete and thorough investigation.
And we discovered while deputies responded to the hospital and sent a deputy to wait outside the home, it appears the Pasco Sheriff's Office did not follow its own written guidelines, which specify how all deaths should be investigated. That includes taking pictures and gathering evidence at the scene. The Sheriff's Office maintains they did follow policy. But the I-Team reviewed the medical examiner's files for every undetermined overdose death investigated by the Pasco County Sheriff's Office over a 5-year period. There were 15 where either photographs were taken or the scene investigated, something that did not happen with Laura's death.
There was nothing on the woman's body to indicate anything was strange in this case. It looked to be either a medical condition or possibly overdose.
Every county has a lot of young people overdosing on prescription medications. There's no question about that. But that does not relinquish your responsibility to conduct a complete and thorough investigation.
733.609.
Over George Bowden's objections, Laura's mother has been fighting a losing legal battle in Florida and in her home state of Delaware, where Laura is buried. She wants her daughter's body exhumed to find some other possible explanation for her death.
I will go to my grave trying to get justice for my daughter, because I know she did not do this.
Brendan McLaughlin, ABC Action News.
The Pasco Sheriff's Office stands by their handling of Laura's death, but says if anyone has any additional evidence, they would consider reopening the case. We did speak with George Bowden's attorney, who in a one-page letter says, in part, while I feel for Mrs. Renier and her inability to move past the loss of her daughter, George is faced with the task of raising his child on his own and finding a way to provide her both comfort and closure. We've put the entire response on our website at abcactionnews.com.